Good afternoon. Our esteemed speakers, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Madiyem Layapan, Chief Executive Officer cum Director of Invest Sabah Berhad, Mr. Kevin Ukang, Chief Investment Officer of the Investment Development Section in SEDIA, IDS Board of Directors, heads of government-linked companies, statutory bodies and agencies, representatives of embassies in Malaysia, Datuk-Datuk, Datin-Datin, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. This is Adeline Leong, Chairperson of the Institute for Development Studies, Sabah, welcoming you to this webinar on investment protocol in Sabah. This investment webinar is organized by IDS Sabah, and we have invited two organizations in Sabah dealing with investment proposals, procedures, and process to speak to you. They are Invest Sabah Berhad and SEDIA, Sabah Economic Development and Investment Authority. I'm pleased to note that apart from our local and Malaysian participants, we have participants from various embassies in KL and MIDA officers from overseas. This seminar is for both domestic and foreign investors who are interested to invest in Sabah, but need to know the protocol that goes with it. For those who are keen to invest in Sabah, you may like to know that with our abundance of natural resources, we are the fourth largest biodiversity in the world. Sabah is not only the land below the wind, being under the typhoon belt, but it is also the land of endless potentials with its strategic location in Southeast Asia. And it's a diverse melting pot of distinctive cultures, ethnicities, and languages. With close to 4 million people, the second largest population in Malaysia, Sabah has a large pool of young workforce with tremendous potential for human capital development. The state is also a significant contributor to the national tourism sector and agriculture sector. The state of Sabah draws the second highest number of tourists into Malaysia, and is one of the largest contributors of CPO, crude palm oil production, including biomass at the national level. The nature of Sabah's diverse and resilient economy is an important strength for the state. Over the past decades, Sabah was heavily dependent on the primary sectors such as agriculture, commodities, and natural resources. Since then, the state has diversified its economy into various sectors, focusing on the state's strengths and potential, such as tourism, manufacturing, and services sector. Unfortunately, Sabah's growth has taken a hit during the COVID-19 pandemic, as the state's core sectors were required to re-strategize and rebuild the economy. Much like the global economy post-pandemic, Sabah has proven to be resilient with the support from the federal government through the National Recovery Plan and stimulus packages. Various initiatives have been and are being implemented by the state government and have pushed Sabah's efforts towards economic recovery. The state is embarking on an exciting journey with the launch of the 5-year Hala Tuju Sabah Maju Jaya SMJ development plan last year by the state government that sets out a new strategic direction for Sabah's economic development. SMJ looks into focusing on Sabah's strengths and resources, at the same time prioritizing the green economy and sustainability. Sabah would have an extensive connectivity network with the federal government's investment in building and upgrading the Pan-Borneo Highway to link Sabah, Sarawak, Brunei, and Indonesia's Kalimantan region. Linking this highway to the Trans-Kalimantan Highway will bridge and promote economic linkages between neighboring states. Within the post-pandemic world order, connectivity also includes going towards digital economy, as most businesses have shifted operations online. Hence, for Sabah to remain attractive and relevant, the state government have ramped up the digitalization efforts to fully leverage on the global digital economy. With funding allocated by the federal government to provide wider coverage and upgraded broadband quality, Sabah's digital infrastructure is definitely taking shape within the near future with the ongoing first phase of National Digital Network Plan, JENDELA. As seen in many countries, the pandemic has taken its toll on the economy with significant negative effects. Now more than ever, Sabah policymakers should make the environment for foreign investment more attractive. Supportive policy conditions can retain, expand, and attract investment, providing much needed capital to support economic recovery. Sabah is clearly a melting pot for diverse potentials and without a doubt, an attractive destination for foreign investors. What is next? As an interested party, what is the process to invest in Sabah? With the presence of two investment organizations in Sabah, the newly established Invest Sabah Berhad and the recent restructuring of SEDIA, I believe that this webinar is necessary to better grasp the main roles of these two organizations in terms of attracting and processing new investment proposals before being endorsed by the state government. It is important to be fully informed of the state's investment protocols. Hence, this webinar also serves to better understand the main functions of Invest Sabah Berhad and SEDIA in complementing each other to attract new investments into the state. Today, we have the honor of listening to two speakers during this webinar to get an input on Sabah's investment protocols and procedures. They are Datuk Madiam Layapan, CEO of Invest Sabah, and Mr. Kevin Ukang, Chief Investment Officer of SEDIA. Datuk Madiam Layapan will be speaking first with his presentation, the main role of Invest Sabah and investment proposal procedure and process. Datuk Madiam, with his vast experience in the state government for the past 35 years, has been appointed as the Chief Executive Officer cum Director of Invest Sabah and is entrusted by the government to promote investment strategies in Sabah and to facilitate investors with federal and state agencies. He has the passion to develop Sabah state by inviting more foreign investors, and Invest Sabah has created the perfect platform for investors on pre-investment and post-investment facilities. Let us welcome Datuk Madiam Layapan.
Thank you very much, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Adli Leong, being the chairman of IDS Sabah and also our moderator this afternoon webinar. First of all, Invest Sabah would like to appreciate the efforts taken by the IDS to organize these functions, this webinar. This is the right opportunity for us to inform all the participants about the existence of Invest Sabah Berhad, the role of Invest Sabah Berhad, and the process of investment proposal, which is submitted to Invest Sabah. So it is my pleasure to share with you the slide presentation from Invest Sabah. Okay, this is the slide presentation from Invest Sabah. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes. We were given the topic this afternoon, the main role of Invest Sabah Berhad. These are the contents of my presentation today, covering the introduction, Sabah economy, manufacturing investment in Sabah, Invest Sabah Berhad, Sabah moving forward, industrial parks in Sabah, and why Sabah, and after that, that is the conclusion remarks. I think this one is, we already know about this, but this is for the purpose of our foreign participants, that Sabah is one of the 13 states in Malaysia, located at the northern part of Borneo, second largest state in Malaysia after Sarawak. So this is the exact location of Sabah. No need to explain this. I think everyone knows about the Sabah. So Sabah is comprising 73,631 kilometers square. So this is the distance from Kota Kinabalu to many important cities in Southeast Asia: Manila, Singapore, in Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, Taipei, Shanghai, Tokyo, in Dubai, Turkey. And we are accessible by flights from Kota Kinabalu, international flights. For our information, Kota Kinabalu International Airport is the second largest of international airport in Malaysia. So we have direct flights from Kota Kinabalu to many countries in the world. But during this pandemic COVID, all the flights should be from Kuala Lumpur to overseas. This is the Sabah economy from 2017 up to 2020. This is just to inform us about the GDP in Sabah. I'm not going to explain in details about this, but just for information that the GDP in Sabah is approximately 80 billion ringgit a year. So this is the the GDP structure by sectors. As we can see here, the services representing 46.1%, contributions from the state GDP, which is 85 billion just now, and the agriculture is 16.1%, and mining is about 26.6%, and the construction is 3.6%, and manufacturing is 7.6%. So meaning to say that the manufacturing contribution to the GDP is only 7.6%. So the Ministry of Industrial Development, we already set the KPI that we have to increase this percentage of contribution of manufacturing from 7.6% up to 35% in 2030. So that's why we are very keen to look for more investments in the states on manufacturing sectors. This is the Sabah main exports. So the data obtained from UPenn Sabah. I'm not going to explain all of the things. So this is the main imports from overseas. Importantly, our export is more than the imports, so we have a surplus. Okay, this is the our manufacturing investment value from 2016 up to last year. So based on this figure, this is approved by MIDA Malaysia. In 2016, we obtained 2.13 billion investment value in manufacturing. In 2017, it was decreased up to 0.78%. And the worst is 2018, we only obtained about 0.23 billion ringgit, which is equivalent to 230 million ringgit a year in 2018. And it was increased in 2019, 6.45 billion, and in 2020, 11.86 billion ringgit. This is already approved by MIDA. And last year, we obtained 4.36 billion or 4.4 billion. So last year, we received 49 investment proposal, and MIDA approved only 7 investment, amounting to 4.36 billion ringgit. That was last year, making Sabah number 3 ranking in Malaysia in terms of FDI investment, after Kedah and Selangor, and followed by Sabah and the rest other states. So we want to focus my presentation on Invest Sabah Berhad. For the participant information, Invest Sabah Berhad was formed by the government in 2020. After we study the role of Invest in Peninsular Malaysia. Most of the states in Peninsular Malaysia, they have their own Invest Penang, Invest Selangor, Invest Johor, Invest Kuala Lumpur, and so forth. So before we form Invest Sabah Berhad, we already visited the Invest in Peninsular Malaysia. And it is very important for us to follow the investment procedure in the Peninsular Malaysia to enhance the value of our investment in the states. So these are the board of directors of Invest Sabah. As we can see now, the chairman of the board of directors of in Sabah is the Right Honorable Chief Minister, and the deputy is the Minister of Industrial Development, the State Secretary, the AG, the Permanent Secretary of MOF, and the director of JTU, Datu Bernard Liao, and then Datu Asman, and the new one is Mr. Fu, the SME president, and myself. So this is our vision, Invest Sabah vision, objective, and mission. So I'm not going to explain detail on this. So this is very important, the role of Invest Sabah Berhad. So the objective of formation of Invest Sabah Berhad is to set up one-stop investment agency in Sabah. So before Invest Sabah is established by the government, the investment proposal either from DDI or from FDI, they submit the proposal to the Chief Minister Office or to UPEN or to various ministry in Sabah. But at the end of the day, there's no single government entity to process the investment. So to facilitate this investment, that's why the government of Sabah, under the GRS government, they established Invest Sabah as one-stop investment agency. So with this Invest Sabah Berhad, all the investment proposal either from DDI or from FDI, they can submit to Invest Sabah directly, or probably if they submit the investment proposal to the Chief Minister or to other ministries, they must forward the investment proposal to invest Sabah. And thereafter, we will do the due diligence and we will bring the investment proposal in the State Investment Committee for consideration. The second role of Invest Sabah is to promote investment opportunities in Sabah. We are entrusted by the state government to promote the investment opportunity in Sabah to the local investors and to overseas. The third one is to provide information on investment. So we already established the Invest Sabah websites. All the information are already inserted in our websites, and also the investors can contact us directly. And we are also entrusted to facilitate the investment. So meaning to say that if certain investment already approved by the state government, so we have to facilitate this investment to other federal and state agencies. For example, we want to facilitate them, want to connect them to the SESB if they need certain amount of power. And we also facilitate them to the water department, to the DOA, or to the Sabah Energy Corporation and other agencies. So this is the Sabah moving forward, focus and mission investment. Under the GRS, the Sabah Maju Jaya, Invest Sabah was entrusted to promote investment on manufacturing sectors, agriculture, human capitals, infrastructure, and utilities. For our information, under the Ministry of Industrial Development, in Sabah, we have 4 industrial parks. The first one is the Sabah Oil and Gas Industrial Park, which is located in Sipitang, about 6,000 acres of land available for investors like a refinery and any investment related to oil and gas in Sipitang. So this is under the purview of SOGDC. The second one is we have Kota Kinabalu Industrial Park, which is located in Telepuk. It is not far from Kota Kinabalu, between 15 to 20 minutes drive. And KKIP is very close to Sepanggar ports. The third one is we have oil POIC, Palm Oil Industrial Cluster in Lahad Datu. And we have also Sandakan Furniture Hub, located in Sandakan. Those investors who are very keen to invest in furniture, they can locate their own furniture factory in Sandakan Furniture Hub. Why invest in Sabah? This is very important because normally the investors, they consider many elements before they make decision to invest in Sabah. The first one is the strategic location of Sabah. This is very important for the investors to make decision whether to invest in Sabah or not. Sabah location is very strategic. We are not far from Peninsula Malaysia, the Philippines, Japan, Korea, and China, and other countries. So for our information, one of our investors last year, the company from South Korea, they invested in Sabah, in particular in KKIP, because of a strategic location. KKIP is not far from Kota Kinabalu city center, very close to KKIA, surrounded by international resorts like Sutra Harbor, Kerambunai, Tuaran resorts, and KKIP is surrounded by international golf course and very close to Mount Kinabalu and so forth. So this is the main contributing factor for the company from South Korea to make decision to invest in Sabah because of the strategic location. Okay, apart from the strategic location, these are the elements to normally considered by the investors. So we have stable and a progressive government. So with the government of the day, very stable. So there's no element of change of policy. Our policy is confirmed. It's not changed from time to time. So the policy is very very important for the investors, and it is very helpful to the investors. For example, we have a land policy applied to the all 4 industrial park in Sabah. So previously, the industrial park is allowed to sell the land to the investor. But the current policy, we are not selling the land in all the 4 industrial park in Sabah, but we are only allowed to lease the land to the investors for 50 years and can be renewed as wished by the investor. And the lease can be negotiable. We have abundance of resources and raw materials in Sabah. We have forests, we have beautiful rivers, materials like silica sand and so forth. And of course, one of the reason the investors select Sabah is in Sabah, we are very competitive. The cost of investing in Sabah is not too high compared to the rest of the other states. For example, our power supply in Sabah more than enough, and the cost is competitive, can be negotiated, and also the water supply and other things, and also the gas. So Sabah Energy Corporation is responsible to supply the gas, and the cost can be negotiated with the Sabah Energy. So one of the role of the Invest Sabah is to facilitate the negotiation between the investors and federal and state agencies. And we have also the investment incentive under MIDA. Also, I think the SEDIA will also talk about the incentive. And we have world-class ports. So we have a Spangar ports, very big, and it is international standards. Apart from Spangar ports, we have ports in Kudat, Sendakan, Lahadatu, Tawau, and other areas. We have also world-class tourism destination. We have universities. The population in Sabah workforce, we can provide the skilled workers to the investors, and good quality of life. So these elements are one of the factors that can be considered by the investors. So thank you very much. That is the presentation from Invest Sabah. So I will invite you to see the pictures here. Mount Kinabalu, Rafflesia, and this is the Menara Kinabalu, the Sabah Administration Center. Our beaches in Sabah, beautiful islands in Cimpona. We have a lot of island, and also in Gaya Island, we have resorts in Gaya Island, like Gayana Resort, Bungaraya Resort, Whitetail Resort, and so forth. So investors who wish to invest in Sabah, you can contact us. Our office, Invest Sabah office, located at level 5, Sabah International Convention Center, or you can visit our website. I think that's it, the presentation from Invest Sabah. Thank you very much again, Datu Adilin. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Madiam, for a great presentation. And we now know what Invest Sabah is all about. And congratulations for doing a good job in promoting investment in Sabah, especially with this 4.6 billion that invested in 2021. So now we will not go into question and answer yet. We will listen to our second speaker first, and then later on we'll have half an hour at the end for question and answer. So our second speaker, Mr. Kevin Ukang, is the Chief Investment Officer of the Investment Development Section in SEDIA, and he will be presenting the main role of Investment Development Section SEDIA and investment proposal, procedure, and process. Mr. Ukang graduated with a degree in Civil and Construction Engineering from Curtin University of Technology, Australia, and holds a Master in Business Administration. A professional with over 10 years of diversified experience in engineering, Mr. Ukang joined SEDIA in 2009. He was attached to various sections in SEDIA, namely the Project Management Department, Development Planning Division, and he was also with the Office of the Chief Executive. Now, Mr. Ukang leads SEDIA's Investment Development Section. Let us listen now to Mr. Kevin Ukang, the Chief Investment Officer of SEDIA.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you, the moderator of the day, Dr. Adeline Leong, who is also the chairman of IDS, and also Dr. Madiam, the Chief Executive Officer of Invest Sabah. So let me start. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, good, great. Hold on, I think I need to. Sorry about that. Yep. And as well as the moderator, I mean the organizer of the webinar. Thank you very much, and you have made this event a success. So my content of my presentation basically is the Sabah Development Corridor, the current investment climate, SEDIA investment promotion, process and procedures. Let me start by introducing Sabah Development Corridor. It was launched in 2008 by the then Prime Minister, and SEDIA commenced its operation in 2009. SEDIA was actually a statutory body under the Prime Minister Department, and the establishment is by the state enactment. The SDC program was aligned to federal and state Malaysia plan since its inception until now, which is the RMK 12, which is the Shared Prosperity Vision. So this is just the midterm review, I mean the new blueprint of Sabah Development Corridor, spanning from 2021 until 2030. This was actually aligned with the Shared Prosperity Vision that I mentioned before. And the vision of the blueprint is to make SDC as a competitive, inclusive, and sustainable corridor by 2030. So with three aspirations that are competitive, innovative, and high-value economy, inclusive and balanced development, healthy and resilient ecosystem. So the main focus will be on the tourism, logistics, manufacturing, and agriculture spreading along three main regions, which is the central, western, which is the west coast, and also the east coast of Sabah. Well, let us look at the current investment climate. The COVID-19 pandemic has presented a new unprecedented event. The world economy was hit hard in the ground, with the global FDI has fallen more than 40% in the year 2020. In 2021, the FDI flowed strong rebound, up to 77% from year 2020, and the ASEAN countries has resumed its role as an engine of growth for the FDI in Asia and globally. Based on UNCTAD, UNCTAD World Investment Report 2020, the trend in FDI inflows in Malaysia are decreasing in the past 9 to 10 years or so, whereas our neighboring countries, as our neighboring country is experiencing a prosperity in terms of foreign investment. Why is this happening? I think this is because of very competitive market in the promotion, in the investment promotion. It is very fierce competition in FDI, and there are massive growth in investment promotion agencies worldwide. For information, there is more than 22,000 IPS right now, and it is increasing as years goes by. Well, I think the solution right now is how to make ourselves to differentiate our location, which is Sabah, in such a noisy place. So let me start by giving you the basic of investment promotion. Actually, this is what the services, that was provided. And SEDIA was sort of lucky because we have received support from the World Bank in terms of capacity building in investment promotion. Investment promotion is actually the building the location image, like putting the positive image, positive message on Sabah, and conducting sector targeting. Not on by identify the segment, then we are able to identify which are the respective investor. And of course, information is very important, followed by the assistance. And the most important services in attracting and retaining investors is actually the aftercare and advocacy. So these are the essence of investment promotion. What we need to do is to generate investors' interest and convert their interest into investment. Okay, so if you can see, it is basically a customer service throughout the journey of the investor. So with that, we have established the new unit under the investment promotion. The new unit, investment promotion unit under the SEDIA investment development section. So we are an agency that directly support investors throughout their changing needs, including facilitating licenses and incentive, as well as business expansion. So these are how we can assist, like gathering, provide the investors more information regarding industrial parks, the connectivity, and so on and so forth, and the cost of doing business, of course. And also, we also facilitating their approvals, their application until their approvals. Besides that, we also connecting investor to strategic partner, not only with the government services, but government service, but also to the industry player. Well, next one. So actually, let's talk about the investment processes and procedures. These are the investment life cycle of investments. This is where I think we should pay a little bit of attention for the investment and entry, and to streamline our processes and procedure. Any inward investor, they can submit their proposal to SEDIA, whether to SEDIA or SEDIA Investment Promotion Unit, and then SEDIA will undertake all the processes, then recommend, table it to the SEDIA Finance and Investment Committee, and with their recommendation, we will bring up to the endorsement of the member of authority that was chaired by the chief minister. So let me highlight a little bit of what are we active in doing at this moment. Actually, SEDIA has been engaging actively in terms of investment promotion. This is where we are not waiting for the proposals to come in, but we are conducting the analysis to identify which are the segments that are ready for promotion. So it will be divided into 4 sections: planning, preparing, executing the campaign, and follow-up. So this is the thing that is happening right now. Actually, what we have conducted is to gather all the resources, stock taking on the background of the segment, and consultation with the industry player and stakeholders. By doing that, we also produce the sector scan report or sector assessment report. For example, at this moment, SEDIA has completed the SEDIA Investment Promotion Unit has completed our sector assessment report on logistics. So we are focusing at this moment on cold chain logistics. So after having our sector report, we are doing the next thing is the awareness to inform the public or the investors, to reach out to them and to produce and to enlighten them on the information that we have. As you can see, all the marketing materials is available in e-brochures, also in our website, the SEDIA Investment Promotion new website, and also the social media. The social media is our strategy is to entice the investor to visit our website so that they can see more and more information. The next one will be executing the outreach. At this moment, what we have done is to do virtual outreach. This is due to the pandemic. So in the beginning, what we do is we establish contacts, not only with the government services, but also with embassies, associations, chamber of commerce, and so on. And then we will shortlist all the companies that is in this particular segment, and as well as we zoom into the segment where they are really look into cold chain logistics. Okay, and then we will deliver our webinar. This webinar will include the introduction of who SEDIA Investment Promotion, as well as what we do and what service we can provide. Besides that, one of the most important is to sell Sabah as a location and cold chain logistics as a value proposition. Yep. So after the webinar, there will be a follow-up, like sharing our information, presentation slides, and more, and invite them to visit our website, and so on. After that, it will be a lot of engagement, face-to-face engagement, one-to-one engagement with the investors. For example, as you can see in the screen, there is what has happened last week, that we visited one of the investor in Selangor to entice them to come into Sabah. So moving forward, they are asking for more information, like more detailed information, like the cost, and then the availability of the power and water, and etc. So this is just to show you what we have done previously, like presenting the value propositions. Actually, the first thing, like we try to sell Sabah as a location, being located at BIMP Iaga region, and also located along the major shipping route, and also to give them some background on the market access that we have approximately 24 million at this region. The next thing is what we have to offer with a complete road network and the upcoming Pan-Borneo Highway. It will also be an enabler to their businesses and industry. And then, of course, for industrialization, besides selling the 4 industrial parks that Dr. Madia mentioned, we are also promoting Sabah Agro-Industrial Precinct. And connectivity, like KK International Airport being the nation's second busiest airport, there are a lot of direct connectivity to more than 26 major Asian cities. And then the next one is the cost of operation and setting up. Actually, we are quite competitive compared to several locations in Malaysia. So the next thing is why cold chain logistics? So all this information must be credible. So there's been a lot of sector research been done. So one of them is because it is a recession resilient segment, because it is considered as essential services. And then there are business opportunities in this segment, cold chain, because there are limited refrigerated warehouse in Sabah. At this moment, the only 3PL cold chain logistics company is only Hypercold, which is in Kota Kinabalu Industrial Park. During the pandemic, I think we have experienced the issues on logistics, especially on the movement of vaccines. So I think this will give another opportunity for people to expand their business or to set up, to go into cold chain in Sabah. At the same time, it is because of the popularity in e-commerce that emerges during the pandemic. Incentives, I think these incentives is where SEDIA can assist, because our long-established relationship with MIDA. And also SEDIA will also undertake our new SDC blueprint, SDC incentive review very, very soon. As you can see that the increase in population and the household income in Sabah will also increase. So there will be a demand in terms of food and the medicine and pharmaceutical. The next thing is about tourism. Post-COVID recovery, we are talking about tourism boom again, being the catalyst of Sabah's economic growth. With the current development, I think this will be the justification on why cold chain logistics is good and is in growing demand. So the bottom slide showing that all the research done and to justify why cold chain is the way to go next. So basically, they are also to show that, on the left-hand side is all the cost comparison between manufacturing cuisine in Malaysia that includes Penang, Selangor, KKIP, POIC in our East Coast, and Sarawak generally. Basically, if you can see, we are basically quite competitive, especially compared to Penang and Selangor. So our value proposition was supported actually by, like I said, the investment promotion website. Please visit our website at www.investmentpromotion.sedia.com.my, and also e-brochures will be made available. Yeah. So at the end of our journey, what we want to achieve is investments. So this is the monitoring and evaluation process that we hope we can achieve, like establishing a context and then going for presentation, like introductory webinar, and then site visits and follow-up visits. And then at the end, leads to approvals and then investment lands in Sabah. So what will make that happen is the critical success factor to make it happen is the investment promotion working in partnership. We can't work alone. So we need collaboration, assistance from other stakeholders like Ministry of Industrial Development, MITI, consulting firm, chambers of commerce, industrial park, and all the government and private sector stakeholders. So I think that is just a very short presentation on what we do and the processes, and procedures. And should you have any other question, you can contact us by visiting our website at www.investmentpromotion.sedia.com.my. And we are on social media as well, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kevin. And again, we are very clear now on what SEDIA is doing where investment promotion is concerned. And we know that from these two presentations that we have actually it's been clarified, what these two agencies are helping investors to facilitate licenses, incentives. They've given you information on land policy, industrial parks, connectivity, the cost of doing business, and so on, that, it's cheaper to do business in investment and business in Sabah than in other states in Malaysia. So therefore, it's interesting to note that, that Sabah is really, really very, very focused on investment promotion, and SEDIA has made this one of its main program to do so. So now we'll like to go on to question and answers, and I will click on the first question is from Ramli Kasin. He asked, for agriculture such as cocoa, is there any incentive given to local and international investors if they are interested to open plantation or set up a chocolate manufacturing company in Sabah? So I would like to pose these questions to either speaker, whoever wants to take it up first.
Yep, can I take it up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, basically, first of all, I think we wouldn't have all the answer to the questions, and because of for incentive at this moment for SEDIA, actually SEDIA is also offered incentive, but however, it's not really in cocoa, cocoa in particular. So by having said that, actually we are able, by reaching out to SEDIA, we are able to bridge the gap, between the investors and to MIDA, so that to enable them to understand more incentive, not only for cocoa, but other commodities.
Anything from Datuk Madian? Okay, the other question.
Yeah. Yes. Is it from the question is from Ramli?
That's right.
Kasin? Ramli Kasin.
Right. Yes.
Dr. Ramli Kasin.
Yes.
Ya, dia ini he is my former classmate at UITM during our MBA. Now he's the director of Cocoa Malaysia in I think in Sabah. So congratulations to him. MIDA official could not join us this webinar. But I'm not so sure about the incentive from MIDA about the agriculture. What we have now is only the incentive on manufacturing. So I will discuss with this to MIDA, and I think I can further discuss with Dr. Ramli about this. Dr. Ramli Kasin. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is, what is the difference between the role played by SEDIA Investment Division and Invest Sabah, and also the Department of Industrial Development and Research, which I believe they have their own investment unit?
Yep.
All are state government agencies, but they seem to be doing a similar promotion. Can this be further explained?
Yes, Dato Moderator. Okay, can I start with basically we are actually complementing each other. It's for the benefit of the states. But at this moment, as you can see in my presentation, actually most of our activities are engaging into more of active promotion. And although we do some facilitation, and we also have a team which is doing the inquiry handling, where we have put in place a certain a very systematic approach, like 5 steps inquiry handling, like reception, processing, responding, and etc. So I think if you talk about the emergence of new investment promotion unit, I think it's no issue about that, as we are complementing each other. But if you can see, like, in my slides also, I'm talking about there's a lot of up and coming IPA. So like in Malaysia, we have actually like national IPA, also have a sub sub-national IPA like Invest Sabah, Invest Selangor, Invest Penang, and so on. And of course, not forgetting we are like SEDIA. SEDIA is actually a regional IPA, just like Iskandar Corridor, Northern Corridor, Ricoda, NCER, and NCIA. Yeah. So actually, in terms of establishment, we might have different focus or direction, but we are complementing each other in terms of attracting high value investment into the state.
Okay, from Invest Sabah, I would like to respond this question. This is a very important question to minimize the doubts. And of course, it is true that previously the investment promotion is done by the Ministry of Industrial Development and also the IDR. When I was a permanent secretary in MID for 3 years, one of my major role is to promote the investment in Sabah to the whole Malaysia and to the foreign countries. Also, we are in MID in collaborating with the IDR. Apart from Ministry of Industrial Development to promote the IDR, actually MIDA is very aggressive to helping the government of Sabah to promote investment opportunities in Sabah. We have MIDA office in Kota Kinabalu, headed by Mr. Wong as a director of MIDA Sabah. And we are also collaborating with MIDA in foreign countries like in China, in Japan, in Korea, in Seoul, also in many other countries. So when I was in MID before, we organized investment, trade and investment mission to China, to Korea, in Japan, with the collaboration of MIDA in the foreign countries. So we are complement each other. That is before the role of the MID and the IDR before the formation of Invest Sabah. Now, after Invest Sabah formed by the government in 2020, the role to promote investment in Sabah is under the responsibility of Invest Sabah. So MID and DDR is focusing more on policy and focusing more on how to facilitate investors on power supply, water supply, and gas. So it is true that previously the investment promotion is done by the ministry, but now it is all under Invest Sabah. So that's why under the board of directors of Invest Sabah, the Minister of Industrial Development is the Deputy Chairman of Invest Sabah Board of Directors. And also the Permanent Secretary of MID is also the board member of Invest Sabah. So starting from 2020, all the proposal of investment supposed to be submitted to Invest Sabah. Thank you very much.
Dr. Madian, there's another follow-up question. Where do the investor go first, Invest Sabah or SEDIA?
Okay, now I think the most appropriate to answer this question is Mr. Kevin Ukang, but I understand that the investment proposal to SEDIA is very specific area and very specific products. So they are very specific. For Invest Sabah, the proposal is throughout the states, no matter which area, which district. So they can submit to Invest Sabah. And also they can submit to SEDIA as well. So I think Kevin Ukang can explain more about the specific district and a specific product by the SEDIA who will be enjoying the tax incentive. As I know, SEDIA only offer tax incentive if the investment is in particular district or certain products. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, Mr. Kevin. Yeah.
Yes. Basically, all the investment is actually, we are looking at our strategic development area. If you can see the map that I showed just now, divided into three different regions: the Western, the Central, and the Eastern. Although it is it's also throughout Sabah, but there are few initiatives. There are 30 initiatives statewide. You know, they are location based, and of course they are based on the specific segment where the district or the particular area is doing good, is doing well. So at this moment, I think when I talk about incentive, since the SDC incentive is expiring December 2020, so I would not drill more into that. I would like to as awareness to inform the public or everyone that actually we are about to embark into the new SDC incentive study very soon, to make it more flexible and more attractive to the compared relatively to the standard incentive offered by MIDA.
Thank you. In fact, someone is asking about your websites. Perhaps, you know, they're saying that, you know, they like to get more information. So does Invest Sabah have any website in the pipeline? And SEDIA, do you have any plan to revamp your website?
For Sabah, for SEDIA, actually, we have our own investment promotion website, which is already live in January. It is www.investmentpromotion.sedia.com.my. We are currently revamping our SEDIA as an organization website in line with the new SDC Blueprint 2.0. Just bear with us for a short while. I think that it will be launched very soon.
Okay. And the other one is from Dr. Nancy Ho. He says, thank you for your interesting presentation, Mr. Kevin. And she would like to ask, what are the initiatives taken so far to drive the pharmaceutical industry under SEDIA, and what plans are in the pipeline, please?
Very good question. Actually, we don't want to stretch ourselves like looking at too many segments at one time. For like at this time, we are looking at logistics, and then perhaps by end of the year, we are going to do another sector assessment. Based on it could be on aquaculture. But when you talk about the pharmaceutical, actually, we have attended some sort of a national level, which is the National Investment Aspiration. It is a lab on pharmaceutical. I hope the report will be very out soon, and that's where I think SEDIA has expressed their input and to look in to participate in more of this particular segment, you know, in Sabah, because at this moment, movement of pharmaceutical product has been mostly from the West Malaysia. So it was well accepted, and we are waiting for the draft final report. It was done by BCG. Thank you, Dr. Nancy Ho.
Okay, the next question is from Azharuddin regarding to both speakers. He says, does Sabah have a planned approach for investors to be in sync with the Economic Development Master Plan, SMJ? He says, I believe there are many push and pull factors to consider and to focus on. Any core economic clusters, sectors, product promoted? In short, what are we looking for in Sabah?
I think this is a very diverse question. I think it's leading towards economics sense, but basically there's a lot of synergy between the SDC blueprint and of course the state Sabah Madu Jaya as well as the national plan. So it was basically a streamline, and we are looking at establishing a new industrial area because of at this moment, like in West Coast, if you look at what we have left is actually Sohib. Okay, so there is the thing that is in the pipeline. So SEDIA will also sit with Ministry of Industrial Development and Datuk Madian to explore into this opportunity very, very soon.
Datuk Madian, any response?
I think it is already covered by Mr. Kevin Okam.
Okay. There's a question here from Rahizal. How much investment figure both SEDIA and Invest Sabah is targeting for this year? It's a difficult question, right?
Can I take that question?
Yes.
Basically, if you look at the Sabah Development Corridor Blueprint 2.0, so our aspiration, actually our target and goal is to achieve 95 billion investment by 2030. There will be approximately 45 billion by midterm, which is 2025. Okay. Having said that, that is including all the spillovers and the linkages, like not direct investment. So to answer the Mr. Rahizal question, I think that will be the long-term plan. Yeah, but of course, in SEDIA investment promotion, corporate plan, we also outlined there's some targets in terms of sectorial investments. How many investments? And most of our investments are not only looking at the investments figure, but also looking at what does it bring to us in terms of job creation, and etc. What are the values they will bring to Sabah? Thank you.
Can I respond that
Yes,
about the target of investment value in Sabah? As I mentioned just now, the manufacturing contribution in the GDP of Sabah is only 7.6%. So we want to increase the contribution of manufacturing from 7.6% to 35% in 2030. So evaluating from the targets, so our KPI every year for the investment in manufacturing is about 6 billion. So last year, 2021, we only managed to obtain 4.4 billion ringgit. So this year, our target also 6 billion, and hopefully we can manage to achieve the targets. Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk. One question on SOGIP. It says interested investors in SOGIP are keen to get information on pricing, available quantity pertaining to products, quality, and byproducts from SOGIP, both over the fence and nearby sources, and the availability of land, power, water, and logistical facilities such as jetty and port, etc. Would you be able to answer?
Okay. I think I can answer that question.
Good.
When I was in the industry, and I was the board of director of SOGDC also. And in Sogip, in Spitang, the area is covers about 6,000 acres of land, 4,000 acres plus in the mainland, and almost 2,000 acres in the seawater. So this is a design for the oil and gas industrial park. So those investors who wish to invest in oil and gas, refinery and so forth, so they can invest in Sogip. As to the question just now, pertaining to the lease of land and then Sogip, as I mentioned just now, the current government policy is we are not going to sell the land in all our industrial park in Sabah. We are only allowed to lease the land to the investor with a specific value of lease every 1 square feet for 50 years, and it can be renewed. So the lease can be negotiable, and we are also responsible to supply power to the industrial park in Sogip from CSB, and also water to the Sogip. We have a water dam in dedicated to Sogip, and currently we don't have the ports in Sogip, That's why we are looking for investors who are interested in investing in establishing or probably to establish the ports in Sagit. As we know, port is very important to every industrial park. Like in KKIP, we are very happy because we have the state government under the purview of the Sabah ports. They have Spanggar ports, international standard of ports in Spanggar, and also in Berhad Datu, the POIC Berhad Datu, because a port is very important to complement each other, to complement to the investors. I think that that's it. The answer. I hope it is can certify the question just now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Datuk.
Yeah.
The next question from James Young is: after the investment proposal is approved in principle, a development plan and building plan may be required to be approved in order for the project to kick off on site. Which one-stop government agency is assisting to coordinate to get these plans approved on time, in view that many government agencies are involved?
So you want to answer, Kevin? Or I will answer the question?
I can answer, and maybe you come first.
Okay, I will answer the question. One of the role of Invest Sabah is to facilitating the investment. So being the coordinator of all the federal and the state agencies. So I think I better share with you our experience on SK Nexalis, which is already been approved by the government, and currently they are very aggressive in constructing the building in KKIP. So after the investment approved by the government, and the license, the approved by, it's not approved, it is agreed by the government, state government, and approved by MIDA, Malaysia. I don't know whether MIDA is here or not, but it is the responsibility of MIDA to approve the manufacturing investment and to issue the license. So Invest Sabah, under the purview of MIDA, we are responsible to facilitate. So we have meeting, we have a committee roundtable discussion to facilitate to all the relevant federal and state agencies. That means we are going to facilitate the investor to SCSB, to Water Department, to Sabah Energy, or to the local council. So the question just now is related to local council. How long the development plan could be approved? So SK Nexalis approval of DP is less than 6 months. So thank you very much for DBKK for being very helpful to facilitate and to process the application of DP. So Invest Sabah and also the industrial park will facilitate to the local council to expedite the approval of DP. That's it. Thank you.
That is very encouraging to know that.
Yes,
that
so that
Invest
is a
Sabah
very
is
good
really
example.
helping. Yeah, this
very
is
fast approval from DBKK. Thanks very much to the buyer of DBKK.
And it's good that Invest Sabah is hand-holding the investor and to ensure that the approval gets approved fast. Very good. Thank you. Now there's a question from Anthony Kyo. DIDR went all out to develop industry in the rural areas. Now that Invest Sabah has taken over much of its responsibilities, what is Invest Sabah's plan to promote industries in the rural sector? Datuk?
I'm not so sure whether the DIDR they join this webinar or not, but let me answer this question, because I was in the ministry before and DIDR is under me at the time. Of course, DIDR responsible to set up satu kampung, satu industri, satu daerah, satu industri. And also DIDR is looking for local investors or probably foreign investors to invest in any district. So Invest Sabah responsibility is actually to look for investors from DDI or from FDI, and we are trying to sell our industrial park in Sabah, 4 industrial park. apart from the industrial park, if the investor they wish to locate the industry outside of industrial park, also we allow that. So if the land is belong to private sectors or private individual, so it is up to the private owner to discuss to the investor whether they want to join venture with the investor, or they want to sell the land, or they want to lease the land, because it is outside of industrial park. It is the ownership of individual. So take for example, if the one investor they want to invest in a Pitas, for example, and the land is belong to Safuda. It is up to Safuda to negotiate with the investor whether Safuda they want to sell the land or they want to lease. But in this case, because of Safuda is the government agency, they have to abide by the policy. They have to lease the land required to the investor for the kilang. But if, for example, the land is belong to individual, it is up to the individual whether they want to sell the old land, or they want to join venture, or they want to lease. We cannot force them. So that is the difference. But as for the satu daerah, satu kampung for the industry, we are complementing each other in West Sabah and DADR. Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk. Now there's an interesting question in the chat box from Datuk Idris Shafi, the former Director of Agriculture. And his comment is this, agriculture is one of the focus under SMJ. However, do the government has any plan to allocate, lease a sizable, dedicated and gazetted state agricultural land as permanent food production park? So far, it is on case-to-case basis. The similar concept known as TKPM has been implemented previously, but on a smaller size. Recent interest among foreign investors is on planting tropical fruits, which the Ministry of Agriculture dubbed as the next golden crop for Sabah. And the cold storage chain initiated by SEDIA is timely for this purpose. So the question is whether there is any plans for a permanent food production park. Datuk or Kevin? Mr. Kevin?
As I said, not all question comes with an answer, but I think this question is better addressed to maybe the Ministry of Agriculture and Food. Yeah.
Okay. I will offer my response. Thank you very much, Datuk Idris Shafi. He is a very dedicated director when he was in the agriculture department, and also my mentor. And he offered advices to me when I was district officer in Tenom last time. And this question is very important, but as Kevin said just now, the policy should come from the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. So they must formulate the policy. As for Invest Sabah, we are only looking for investors from overseas or from local. I think I will share opinion with Datuk Idrus that it is very important for the state government through Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries to formulate the policy for the food what do you call it? Food security.
Food production park.
Yes. Yeah, we call it a food security.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Datuk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one last question. It says, would SEDIA and Invest Sabah focus more aggressively on Kalimantan?
Okay, let me answer to that. Actually, in 11 Malaysia plan, we have started this sort of engagement through SEEDS. Actually, SEEDS at that time was very actively engaging and have engagement with all the players, industry players and businesses in Kalimantan Timur. So even SEDIA, under SEDIA, there's a fund provided for such activity. So leading into that, I think at this moment, SEDIA will undertake, this year, will undertake the master plan and economic study of the border town, not only in area near Kalabakan, but throughout all towards the Sindumin and Sipitang area. So that is how we are trying to unlock in some to analyze and see if there's any potential in terms of Kalimantan. I believe this project and the relocation of Nusantara will be a good project, but it's just that we need to be aware and plan from the beginning and how to enter into the market.
Thank
so that's
you.
where it leads to our new our master plan study. Thank you.
Dr. Madian, you want to say anything?
No, I have no comment on that. Yeah.
Okay, so no more questions, but there was a very nice comment from Ramli Kasin, your friend. He says, congratulations to IDS for organizing this informative webinar. Well done to Dr. Madian of Invest Sabah, and also to Mr. Kevin Ukang, SEDIA, for your interesting presentations. So now I will come to my closing remarks. So thank you so much, Dr. Madian and Mr. Kevin, for your presentations and for answering all the questions so well and so comprehensively. You have both given a very insightful sharing of information on investment protocol in Sabah. There's so much to process, but I'm sure with all the information given, we now have a better understanding of investment procedures and processes. This is very important, especially for our potential investors, both local and international potential investors who are present at this webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, the keynote address delivered by our Chief Minister, Datuk Sri Panglima Haji G. Haji Noor at SIBIS, Sabah International Business and Economic Summit, on 17th of January 2022, has spurred substantial interest for both domestic and foreign investors, as can be seen by I think there were over 10 ambassadors who actually attended this International Business Summit. Sabah sits in the middle of a strategic location in Southeast Asia. We are in the heart of Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East Asian Growth Area, or BIMYAGA. Through this sub-regional cooperation, Sabah has been on the forefront of promoting closer economic collaboration. Also, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP agreement, will be a key enabler for Malaysia, particularly Sabah, in revitalizing the domestic and international business activities in a post-pandemic world. Sabah will stand to benefit from maritime trade, aviation cargo, and international trade as the RCEP come into force this year. Ladies and gentlemen, Sabah is also looking at projects calculated to bring an estimated 25 billion worth of investments as part of its efforts to revive the economy following the COVID-19 pandemic. The federal government has been very receptive to Sabah's development needs, as evident in the 12th Malaysia Plan, which has committed to enhance Sabah's development as one of the 9 main focuses. We are confident that with a high level of federal government support, we can push ahead to achieve what we are set out to do. For example, as mentioned earlier, Sabah has secured 7 investments with a total value of 4.4 billion in the manufacturing sector approved by MIDA. And this all means that Sabah is always business and investor friendly. And so we call on entrepreneurs, businesses, investors to have a closer look at Sabah and see what we have to offer. So ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that today's webinar has helped us gain a better understanding and knowledge on investment protocol in Sabah, especially for our potential investors. I also hope that this webinar has served its purpose to enlighten our participants in regards to the main role of Invest Sabah and SEDIA in terms of attracting and processing new investment proposals before endorsing for approval in the state of Sabah. I would like to thank you all, especially to our international participants, representatives from the embassies, and MIDA state and global offices. We are really overwhelmed with the support you have given us through this webinar. And we have actually about 100 participants in this webinar. And we look forward to more virtual meetings or webinars with you in the future, perhaps on new undertakings of projects together with us. So on behalf of the organizing committee in IDS, the state of Sabah and Malaysia overall, thank you so much for your participation. And thank you once again to our speakers, Datuk Madian and also Mr. Kevin. So please take care and stay safe. And thank you all for attending.
Thank you, Datuk Adeline Leong, the chairman of IDS. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So well done, Datuk. You're still
thank
here,
you very
right?
much. Thank you very much also to Gwen. Gwen, thank you very much for organizing this webinar, and all the participants. Thank you very much.
They've left already, I think.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Datuk.
Both of you have done very well.
Oh, Mr.
Thank
Fu
you.
also here.
Yes. Yeah, but I think I'm not sure whether they're still here with us. But you have answered the questions very well. Some of them are not easy to answer, but you managed to tackle it. And I think that, you know, the way you described it, it is good that you give some practical examples as well. You know what you did for the Safoda, you know, with the land in Kudat and so in Pitas, and Kevin, you know, I really hope that your pitching for the cold chain logistics will come through, because I think that is so vital. What is so needed in Sabah? You know,
Yeah.
we're very short of cold chain, and we've got so many fresh produced fish that needs to be, you know.
Yeah. But I think, Dato, you haven't seen all those perishables, all down to drain. I mean, all the wastages because of there's no cold chain player here, you know. So even like my friend in Keningau, you know, they have a lot of vegetables, you know, they ended up, you know, so like a wastage lah. So basically the cold chain people, they are very focused. So, but there's a lot of advocacy we need to do, because in terms of to liberalize all the policies, because it's not easy for them. Yep.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I wish you every success.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you to the both of you. You've done extremely well.
Gwen.
Yeah, I don't know where Gwen is. Maybe she did. You know, she didn't come in here, but it's only the three of us left. So, but anyway, I thank you so much again, Datuk. You put in a lot of very good effort. You put in a lot of very good effort, and I really thank you. Thank to the both of you.
Thank you.
I hope that in future we'll have more of such seminars to inform more people of the work done by the good work done by Invest Sabah and also by SEDIA.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Gwen is here now. You're here.
Yes, Gwen is still here.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Gwen.
Thank you, Gwen.
So please organize again.
Gwen, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Goodbye.
So we'll leave you
I
there.
leave it now.
Okay. Yeah. Bye bye.
Okay.
I'll
Thank
leave.
you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.